Hey everyone, my name is Rebecca Bradshaw. I'm the Artistic Director at Gloucester Stage. And for Vanya and SONIA, MASHA and Spike, I'll be acting as the director. And I'm here to introduce a wonderful actor of ours, Diego Arciniegas.
Hi, everybody.
For some of you, you might recognize Diego. He was our director for last year's production of Private Lives. And lo and behold, he's also a fantastic actor and educator. And we have him in the role for Vanya and SONIA, MASHA, and Spike. So let's talk a little bit about the play. This is a wild play. Durang has talked about it, how it's a bunch of Chekhovian characters thrown into a blender. So Diego, when you first read this play, what did you think about it?
So I started reading the play kind of with a little bit of apprehension, going, oh my God, Chekhov, it's all these, it's a beautiful world that Chekhov writes about and is in, but I'm thinking, oh my God, how does that translate to now? And the brilliance of, I think, Christopher Durang is that he infuses his own madcap sense of humor into it, but he nails the fallibility of human beings and their ability to make you laugh while making really bad choices.
Yeah, there's so much there. I love how in Chekhov, some of most of the characters are all kind of intersecting but missing each other. They all, like, if characters are rearranged in his plays, things would end happily ever after. So they never are, which makes them so juicy and comedic and also tragic at the same time. And I love how Durang kind of took that, and all of the characters all have missions and ideas of their future, and they're all crisscrossing, which is great and allows us to follow these different paths throughout the play.
And of course, they carry with them their adult experience now. So
Right.
here you have people who think of themselves differently, reverting back to some of the the most petty and infantile behavior, which of course is lurking inside all of us almost all the time anyway.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about Durang. So, as we heard the news this week, he unfortunately passed away from an awful illness. And, he was one of the contemporary playwrights I grew up with. I grew up with him, his world, and his ability to talk about really serious issues with comedy, which makes it so much more palatable and also a little bit more political.
I think, and particularly in this play, um, he's talking about our increasing isolation,
Right.
and how to interpret that after his passing. It makes me feel like this play is this production. It suddenly turned into my tribute to him, and
Yeah.
that's why people go in the theater in the first place, to have a shared experience. But what's so delightful about this is that my character is complaining about the fact that the shared experience were probably crappy. Some of those childhood experiences were really boring and awful, and there were only 3 or 4 television stations, and everything was in black and white. And he sort of undercuts himself, but then he says, you know, the nation shared an experience, and it was a crappy
Right.
experience, but it was a shared experience, and we're now so
Right.
isolated that I'd rather a crappy shared experience than a smoother, slicker, more perfect individual experience.
And this play is actively talking about, we need to come together, we need to connect, we need to share in this experience, as you're saying, in order to connect with humanity again. And I think what an incredible moment of a very meta moment of us sitting in a theater, you guys as an ensemble on stage, but also the audience around you sharing in this experience, which is so fickle. It's there and then it's gone.
And I think Gloucester Stage is particularly well suited for this because of that wonderful 3/4 intimate theater, and the 3/4 being literally hugged by a living audience while you're just a couple of feet away from them. Um, I think from an audience perspective, you don't forget those unique emotional moments. But as an actor, you feel like this is better than the tightest close up of any camera ever.
I'm excited. Comedies make you realize a lot of things about life, but also about other people and what people think are funny and not funny. And it's tells you a lot. So I can't wait
Oh,
to dive in.
man.
Well, Diego, thank you so much for chatting,
Oh,
and
my pleasure.
I'll see you in rehearsal soon.